And I don't dress based off of the latest trends. If I feel like I want to be a businesswoman who's in power, then I'm going to wear a business suit and feel like a powerful woman in a business suit. If I feel like I want to dance in the field of sunflowers, I will wear a dress and some nice sandals because that's the moment and the feeling that I want. And so that's my way of gaining personal style and personal confidence. Is how do you feel in that particular moment? Not what the world is trying to make you feel, not what you're trying to conform to the world. How do you feel in that moment, and what do you want to feel in that moment?
I mean, it's so timely because the theme of our podcast is standing up for yourself and gaining confidence, even in situations where you may feel like, should I shrink back or should I go with what everyone else is saying? And so often we think of, speaking out as a way to gain confidence. But I love that you are bringing this into the area of style as well, how you present yourself, what you're wearing. It's not even just about clothes, but how you're the message that you're sending with what you're wearing. If you feel confident, like you said, like in a business outfit, that means you're taking yourself seriously, and that other people will be like, okay, they view themselves as a business person because they're wearing businessy clothes. So, that's the perspective that I'm going to tend to have towards them as well. This is kind of off the cuff, but where Paige had an awesome interview, the episode a couple episodes ago, and she talked about imposter syndrome and how it's something that we all struggle with imposter syndrome. And, am I good enough to be in this situation or do this role? Where do you think personal style and how you dress, how it can maybe be a way to combat imposter syndrome in a situation?
I think for imposter syndrome, it's not about the clothes. I think it's about how secure you are in yourself as a person and who you surround yourself with. I'm not saying, everyone that you surround yourself with is exactly who you are, but it does shape you and your identity and your confidence in yourself into who you are. So fashion is just an added layer to that. But if you don't have that confidence in yourself as a person, as a human being, you're going to always be battling that.
I think that's a fantastic point. And I love how, as you've been describing it, you haven't said, how do I look in this? You said, how do I feel in this? And I think that's so important because there's a lot of things that people wear that I would never put that on, but you feel so good about yourself and I can tell. And that makes me really happy to watch you and see what you look like. And so I think that's a great metric even, is to stop thinking, does this make me look skinny? Does it make me look this way? Do I look like that girl that I saw wearing it? But how do I feel when I wear this? And what kind of image am I projecting because of it?
Right.
I think that's a way more mature way of approaching your clothing.
Yeah, I feel like if you see a woman out there who is wearing an outfit that you may not personally wear, it's not the fact that, oh, she's wearing it to get attention. It's the fact that she has so much confidence to wear that. And sometimes other women can go, oh, well, I'll never have the confidence to wear that. But you also have to think she may not have the confidence to wear a business suit that another woman might be wearing, So anytime I look at somebody that's wearing something that I personally would not wear, I'm like, wow, more power to you. And look at the confidence you have. I watch the way they walk in their clothes. And that's how you know that they picked that outfit because of the way they feel in it. Yep.
I love that. Well, can you tell us about, so you're working at a major fashion brand, and how does that shape your personal style? And kind of, like you said, you sort of started out, I'm thinking of like Devil Wears Prada, but of course, all the myriad of fashion movies where, she tries to go work at this big like firm and stuff. But like, how did that experience kind of shape your knowledge, but your understanding of fashion? And then also conversely to that, doing the fashion blog on the side, how does that help you like kind of maintain your sense of personal fashion without being, when I think of Devil Wears Prada, I think of how she was like, you need to change your fashion completely. And so like, how did you prevent from doing that? Or did it actually just add to like your sense of fashion, that experience?
I think it's actually both. It added to my sense of fashion because I would say I had my personal style, but it actually refined my personal style even more so. But also the opposite spectrum of that is I didn't want to look like everyone else either. Not that I want to stand out like my bold neon color days, but I also wanted to stay true to myself. So if somebody is wearing major designer brands, that doesn't necessarily mean that I should wear major designer brands. And you can achieve the same look without paying designer brand prices either, So for me, again, it goes back to knowing who you are, because there are times where it was hard for me, like, wow, I see this beautiful girl, at my job, and she's wearing this particular handbag, or she's wearing these beautiful shoes that I can't afford, really. Let's just be real. But I can go out and replicate that if I want to, if it fits me and my personality. So I think that if you're so secure in yourself that you don't let the fashion world dictate what your personal style is, but you also glean and take some nuggets that you want for yourself, that's how you can achieve your personal style and not conform to the fashion world, but also stay true to yourself.
Yep. Love that.
I love that. So do you have any tips or just ideas for people who might be struggling to develop a personal style? So like I was in this category, still kind of am, and was definitely like last year, I just realized I am a hodgepodge. How do I even start now putting together a personal style that I feel like is representative?
My first piece of advice would be to create a capsule wardrobe of just basics that you will reach for time and time again. And then the second piece of advice, which is kind of the opposite, is to experiment. So and it's okay if you have a phase, so for instance, if you are just straight into neutral colors for a while, it's okay. Embrace that. There's no need for you to go, oh, well, the world is all into neutrals. I should be into neutral colors. Oh, wait, the world is doing this print. I should be into that. If you don't like it, it's okay, And so I think when you create that capsule wardrobe, it gives you a foundation to start off on. So okay, these are the classic pieces I'll have forever. These are the classic pieces that I will reach for time and time again. So how much ever money you're paying for it or investing into it, which I firmly believe in, is if it's a black blazer, you're going to wear forever. It's okay to spend a couple $100 to $1,000 for one if you're going to wear it for 10 years to come versus paying something that's way cheaper that you'll have to replace over a period of time. And then anything else you want to experiment, you can then spend less money on that and try it out to see if you like it. And if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah, I like the idea of needing to invest in it because I also didn't really value it as something I should invest in, especially like growing up, we were always on a super tight budget. So clothes were just always, my mom was amazing about what she could find, but it was like, this is just what we're limited to. Like, this is just what you have to stick to. And so now being in a place where I can invest in things, that's kind of been a flip of, okay, I need to actually see the value in what I'm purchasing and think of longevity. And then, like you said, how it makes you feel.
Yeah. Like my best guy friend, it took him a long time for him to realize, man, I shouldn't really buy $40 jeans, because he never understood buying a pair of $200 jeans. But I told him, I said, here's the secret on investing in a pair of $200 jeans that are going to last forever. You buy it secondhand. And he was like, where do I find stuff like that? And I said, you don't have to search hard, because there's always a consignment shop or a thrift store out there that carries extremely high quality goods with tags still on them. So just understand that when I say budget, I understand everyone's budget is completely different. Okay. And I'm not knocking anybody that wants to shop at Old Navy or the Gap or anything like that. But you have to understand that the same amount of price that you pay for a $20 pair of jeans at the Gap, you can go and spend $20 at a consignment shop, and you look at the retail tag and you also look at the quality of the jeans, and it's $40. So you're not necessarily spending that high amount. You're still investing if you look at it that way.